What is the best revenge on a cheating partner? My wife left after I had a health issue so she could enjoy her life. I recovered, joined a gym, joined a whip dancing club and got out with friends at least 4 nights a week, took my grown kids out fishing on the weekends, dated some but more importantly made a lot of lady friends that really helped raise my self-worth. 11 years later I married a fantastic woman who makes my life wonderful. We've been together for almost 30 years now and she told me she owes my ex a debt of gratitude for making me available. My ex quickly married a bar hookup who refused to work and she had to support them both. She's still unhappy with her life. So as far as I'm concerned the best revenge is to forget they even exist and enjoy your life. Greater than so as far as I'm concerned the best revenge is to forget they even exist and enjoy your life. Sounds like a great plan. This is the proper revenge. You did what was best for yourself and made your ex look like a child without being petty yourself. Love this. I wouldn't even say revenge, just closure and moving on. Your goal is to not care where the person is anymore or what they are doing. You have moved on, that's the reward. Leaving and living a life so good you forget they exist. I do this in practice because my bucket of crabs trick is very high effort and moving on is just a lot easier and less messy. Funny, bucket of crabs is my ex's nickname down at the bar. This is what my dad did. My mom cheated on him with the dad of a family she was a nanny for. In the divorce she got half his pension and primary custody of my brother and I. Then she spent the next decade telling us a story that they split because my dad was too cheap about money and it led to too many arguments. Despite all of that he ended up remarrying with an old flame from high school who owns a lucrative heating and air business that allows them to live quite comfortably. They bought a big plot of land in the countryside and started a horse and cattle farm like he always wanted. Now he's happier than I've ever seen him. My mom still doesn't know that I know all of this, and I go back and forth about confronting her on it. From a person who's been cheated on by 2 different partners, the best revenge is no revenge. Start taking care of yourself more. Go to a movie or dinner by yourself, maybe pick up an exercise plan, and begin appreciating the fact that you can find happiness all by yourself. They may never regret their behavior, and that's not for you to ponder. Going to bed every night with a clear conscience knowing that you did your best and still have love in your heart is a beautiful thing. Be well, friend. I must say, I found it funny 5 years ago when I read Go to Dinner Alone, Go See a Movie Alone, Enjoy Your Own Company and Learn to Wake Up and Feel Good All by Yourself. When my last relationship ended, I said fuck it, I'll try. It was one of the best movie experience ever. I just enjoyed it so much. Dinner? Not so much, but still a great introspection. All in all, I figured I could be happy by myself, which made me realize I don't need someone. I am just also happy to share my life with someone else and make them happy. I recommend to anyone to at least try those silly experiences at least once, plus every other thing you could do to work on yourself. I personally also started my gym journey, eating better, sleeping more, taking time for me, sticking to promises, doing the things I set out to do. All of those are also important when facing tough times. The other awesome thing that happens when you realize that you are fine all on your own is that your standards raise. You're no longer as willing to put up with disrespect, lack of commitment, or other things that you compromised on in the past. It means that you have a higher than previous chance of having a good relationship, because you know you'll be okay walking away from a crappy one. Well said. Revenge means letting them have control over you. Best to move forward. Acting like they never existed. If you find out they cheat, don't engage. Ignoring people is the most effective, most painful mental trick you can play with someone. You'd be surprised how many people you can manipulate if you just simply pretend they're not there. Egos are fragile. My mom once told me that the opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference. Deleted. Living a life you enjoy without them. Don't do anything against the partner for revenge. That won't help anything. Leave them, and do something for you and you only. Always wanted a motorcycle? Go get one. Have you wanted to go to Vietnam? Go and backpack around for a few weeks. This is actually great advice. I remember when my ex cheated. I did things I enjoyed and lived my life to the fullest. He couldn't stand me wearing makeup, so I would wear makeup and embrace my beauty. He didn't like me eating anything unhealthy, so I went and tried new foods. I took pictures of my success and posted my adventures. It made him regret everything he did and he was begging for forgiveness. Of course I told him no. Living your life and doing things you enjoy is the best revenge. I'm glad to see most of the comments like this. Having a revenge fantasy about a cheating ex is so childish. Crabs. Not the sexually transmitted kind. Just a bucket of soldier crabs tossed on them in the night. They'll never sleep easy again. I wanted more responses like this, not this sensical, moral high ground stuff of live a better life. Take my upvote. Like the internet rumor of the lady who got divorced after husband cheated. After it all, husband got the house. But before she moved, she put fish guts in the curtain rods. He could never figure out the smell. Had every single company come in, clean the carpets, the air vents, you name it. He ended up just selling said house. I believe the story has been debunked, but nevertheless, pretty good revenge if it actually happened. It was shrimp and he took the curtain rods. Or prawns hidden in their curtain rods. Seduce and marry one of the parents and become their new step-parent. Then ground them. I fucked your mom. Also, you're grounded. Ah yes, the 12-year-old on Xbox back in 2009 style. Excuse me, it's called vintage. Instead of focusing on revenge, put all of your energy into improving your life. Stay sober, stay focused, get therapy, start a journal, exercise, and if you have a job, get serious about your work. These are the things I did after my partner of 12 years cheated on me. I'm proud to say that as a result I've lost 40 pounds, I've had several promotions, upgraded my house, bought a new Jeep, built a hot tub fort in my backyard, and I now take regular vacations. Now she's very unhappy with her choices, and unfortunately stuck in an unhealthy relationship with the man she left me for. I almost feel sorry for. Nah, not really lol. Girl bye. What is this hot tub fort you speak of? Just wanted to apologize to Op, especially if you're asking this question because you're going through it. I didn't mean for it to seem like I came here to brag about my accomplishments post-divorce. I just wanted to show you that there are better paths than revenge, because revenge usually leads to negative outcomes. Choose a path for yourself that will have positive outcomes. If you want to talk to someone who can relate to what you're feeling, I'm around. I'll be glad to tell you about the revenge I almost took, and why I'm so happy that I didn't go through with it. Take care, and stay strong. So when I was in my 20s I was with this girl I really cared about. Thought it was really going to last forever. Beautiful, sweet, smart, independent. I mean, I got a real sense she wanted to be with me and not needed to be with someone. Made me feel great. I one day caught her fucking another dude. I was absolutely devastated. But instead of yelling, screaming and acting violent or angry, I just said oh shit, sorry, and left. Never picked up the phone again. Never went to get my stuff or any other nonsense. Just cut her off. She called and left voicemails and texted me. They started out as, you have to let me explain to please give me another chance, to the fact that you showed no emotion or anything and have just cut me off shows you never cared about me anyway. Eventually she said she hated me and was glad she did it. Then she would apologize and say please talk to me. It was pretty obvious that my reaction was eating her up inside. It hurt, but you move on. It's fine. In the end she wasn't the right one. I'm happily married with 2 kids and 2 dogs and a house now. Life is full of ups and downs. Don't let them define you. Let me explain. Love it. And the chain of text/call messages, why is it always the same? I mean, it's always from please let me explain, through I'm glad I did it, to I beg you forgive me. Absolutely, that's how it always goes. I think BC at first they want the chance to manipulate you, and then they are just trying to get you to engage in some way. Negative attention is still attention, I guess. Never talk to them again. Block them on anything they try to contact you on. Very hard to do when you have children. I just take pleasure in knowing everything I predicted would happen. She has been in abusive relationships one after another. Has 2 more kids she can't cope with. Forever spiraling in uncontrollable debt. My career has only got better and better. I have everything she ever wanted. I pick up my daughter for my weekend turns in an 80,000 pounds car. If I happen to meet her at the doorstep I can always taste the regret and envy in the air. Feels fucking great. I had an ex-BF who cheated on me and he ended up marrying his affair partner. About 6 months after that, I got what was basically his dream job. We both worked for the same company. Do not recommend. I didn't know it at the time but learned later that he'd applied for it as well and had lobbied hard for it, but I won it and it was announced globally that I'd gotten the promotion. He left the company shortly after that. I hope it was because I got the promotion he wanted. He married the aforementioned AP and they had a couple of kids, which I found out because our community newspaper, really mostly adverts from local businesses with a couple of articles about locals and such, did a piece on working moms, featuring my ex's new wife among others, talking about how hard it is to contribute to the household without spending all your income on daycare, and other conundrums. The article talked about how she'd tried about half a dozen MLM schemes and caused problems in her marriage because she was spending more than she was bringing in. All she wanted was a legitimate work-from-home job so she could make an income and stay home with her children. The thing was, less than a year after I got my promotion to my ex's dream job, it transitioned to a full-time work-from-home position. I ended up never working in my company's office building ever again. So not only did I have his dream job, but I had her dream scenario of getting to work from home, but I got to stay home with my cat. It was glorious. I can only hope this information trickled back to him somehow. 1. Happiness. 2. Get their car keys, pop the hood, shit in the cabin air filter. Don't even have to shit in it. 1. Go to a store that sells hunting stuff, go back to where they have the animal calls and scents. Get a bottle of urine of the animal of your choice. Type, I'd recommend estrus or territorial, tarsal gland. You can also get non-game animal scents like coyote, red fox and skunk. 2. Go to a store that sells fishing stuff and get the commercially made dough baits for catfish. You want the blood-scented variety. Let that sit out in the sun or in a warm garage and ripen a while before you put it on their air filter or even in the passenger area somewhere. Best stores to use for either option would be a Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops because they will usually have a larger selection. The urine option I suggested, Cabela's or Bass Pro, will have a larger selection of animals: deer, elk, bear, and different non-game animals. Man, that's some next level shit. Remind me not to cross you. Fiendish. My wife was abusive and a complete narcissist. She then admitted to me one day of having an affair with a married guy from work for years. Fast forward 5 years, I haven't spoken to her since. I make 5 times what I made when I was with her. I'm in the best shape of my life, relocated to a new area, and I'm remarried to an amazing woman. Calling it quits with that loser was the best gift I could have ever received. Fucking loser. Plant crack in their desk at work. Plant Japanese knotweed near their house. Jesus Christ, they said cheated on you, not murdered your whole family. I love all the ones I read that are like, focus on yourself, don't rely on revenge because it just hurts you in the end, and you are like, break that bitch's window. It's fair, I love it. Ghost them on the spot and never speak to them again no matter what. I ain't gonna say this is the best revenge per se, but it's definitely the play every time. I wish I'd done this. Yeah, sticking around only hurts you more. They know what they did, you know what they did. There's no point in continuing that pain. Won't work if you have kids. I, somewhat inadvertently, stole my cheating ex's family. Spending Christmas with them and watching them sigh and roll their eyes before they had to text or call him was immensely satisfying. I may be in the same situation. 20 years of marriage, almost 25 together, he has a 3-day affair, asks for a divorce 3 days after that, and moves to another country to be with her 4 weeks later. Currently I am invited to Christmas and summer vacations with them and he is not. And my sisters-in-law have been so supportive. It's amazing. Definitely keeping all of them. We need a story time. I didn't really do anything, just was myself, returned calls, gave thoughtful gifts, had a decent spare room, prioritized spending time with them when they were in town, and they started spending more and more time at my place / with me, and when we split they just kept coming over. 14 years and counting, and my mother-outlaw is coming next week to stay with us to help me with my Christmas baking lol. So many people answering moving on / being happy. I mean, y'all are right, but missing the point. We want petty revenge stories to go with our popcorn, come on. Sign them up for Scientology. I hear they get obsessive over new prospects. Make white supremacist / neo-Nazi forum accounts with their real name and face shown. Same with kink sites. They're now into diaper stuff. Load of fun online things you can do that will come up in Google searches. Top 50 comments are all the same. Forget about them, and be happy. While I agree, I want to hear some stories about throwing a fish into their air vents. Actually, that happened to one of my uncles. Right after he and his ex broke up, the ex got a ton of sardines and put them inside each and every one of his pair of shoes. Kick him out your house, it's what I did to mine. I started dating a guy until I found out he was living with his ex, specifically because he didn't have the means to move out on his own. I told him we should hold off dating until he gets that figured out. Friends was fine for now. Turns out, coincidentally, his ex also didn't actually know that they were broken up, which is as dumb as it sounds. Was definitely the right call to put the brakes on that. Greater than his ex also didn't actually know that they were broken up. That's just regular old cheating. Rip the tag / paper, whatever it's called, off of all of their canned food. The only way to find out what it is by opening them. You monster. I may be a monster, but at least I got my way. Being petty is fun. Greater than rip the tag / paper, whatever it's called, off of all of their canned food mattresses. And then call the police on them. I dunno about best, mind you, but had a GF that cheated on me with her ex. The ex's sister hated her, so she slept with me to spite them both. Damn it, why didn't my cheating ex have a sister? My cheating ex only had a brother. I didn't want to go down that dirty road, but I was angry. Ha. Doing her mother. Or the ultimate insult, her mother-in-law. What are you doing, stepson? Living well. By which I mean, being happy and being utterly indifferent to the absence of the cheating partner. As Elie Wiesel said, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Agree with the sentiment, although given that he was talking about the Holocaust, that is a tad dramatic to use for this context, lol. There's nothing dramatic about it, and it's a universal truth. So on Amazon you can buy boar and fox urine. Buy either one and then get a syringe. Slide the syringe under the little plastic lip of their driver's side car window and spew it all in there. They'll never be able to get the smell out. Hey Satan. Pretty difficult to prove too. An ex-GF about 10 years ago, emailed me / to say it wasn't working out and that she had met the unconditional love of her life, something she told me I was lol. So, needless to say, I was a bit hurt, but not much I could do about it. I chewed on it for a while and got really pissed off the more I thought about it. I eventually moved on with life, and basically forgot about her entirely, like pushed so far out of my mind and memories that I legit never thought about her at all. I ended up running into her several years afterwards working at a hotel reception desk and straight up didn't even notice her. She was acting a little bitchy and I didn't know why and chalked it up to her having a rough day or something. Got my key and got settled in my room. The next morning I was coming out to get ready to head to work and was in the lounge area where they have the waffles and shit, and she taps me on the shoulder. I assume she worked all night, and proceeds to challenge me. And I'm like, whoa. If I did something to offend you, I'm so sorry, but who the fuck are you? Or something to this effect. And then she said, I'm so glad I married / /_________________________ and not you. You're such a piece of shit. And then I was like, oh. As the light finally came on, she looked like she was very miserable in life, and that made me very, very, very happy. She was a real tool. Looking back on it, I am kind of proud of myself that I managed to completely move on with my life, that I didn't even remember what she looked like. LOL. I am amazed that she expected me to dwell on her as if she was the greatest thing that ever happened to me and that I lost her, like it seems she almost expected me to dwell on it for years and be depressed about it. As if that wasn't enough, I met a woman in Germany who is like the female version of me. It's pretty awesome. Funny how life works out when you just go with the flow, eh? Nice. Good old Germany. Leaving with no explanation. They leave for work and you just pack up, leave, block them and all their friends and family. Never speak to them again. They will be so confused and hurt. No revenge is better than leaving them utterly confused and caught off guard. Some will say nothing. Some will say airing that dirty laundry across as many social media and content sharing platforms as possible. Depends on how nice you are. I say that airing dirty laundry on Facebook is the worst kind of trashy. I know someone who aired his dirty laundry and got back with his cheating GF the next day and deleted the status. His status about her cheating had 64 reactions and like 20 comments. His new profile picture with her had 1 like. Seen that too. Girl I knew got pregnant at 19 with a guy she knew for 2 months over social media before meeting him in person. Getting pregnant almost right when she got back. She actually had a pregnancy scare right before too lol. Guess what? They weren't going to last. The relationship was extremely toxic. She keeps the baby and moves in with BF at his grandma's house. Both of them together practically let the grandma raise the baby. She lost almost all her friends due to isolation. Jealous boyfriend. It was horrible to watch. Everyone saw it coming through. Anyways, fast forward a while, in one of the fights they had, she proceeded to make an Instagram post about how horrible he is and she doesn't feel loved and blah blah blah. Our whole group rolled their eyes, not because of being messed up, but rather her ignoring all of our collective advice with this dude at every turn. Time after time she had chances to leave this dude but ignored every red flag and proceeded to have a baby with him. Besides that, she was also someone who did this frequently and then would upload a nice couple's picture with a loving caption. I straight up commented on her picture and told her that she is making herself look bad by constantly bitching publicly and embarrassing both of them, then somehow totally flipping the switch. If you're going to stay with this dude, at least keep your dirty laundry to yourself. I knew exactly how she'd react. She commented back with generic snapbacks like, you don't know my life and I can do what I want, it's my page. Never saw her again from that point forward and neither did any of my other friends. It took a while but that girl and her BF did eventually split up. I don't harbor bad feelings for her, and even if she still doesn't like me, I know that she knows I was right. Everyone else, too. I just hope that kid turns out okay because those two were absolutely batshit crazy together and I could only imagine what was said in the house. Take all of their right shoes. Leave only the left shoes.